I made it, everybody. Here we go. But it's getting real bad over here. Let me tell you. I'm looking out my window here. It's freaking epic, man. And the worst is yet to come. Anyway, so post market report Wednesday, October 9th, 2024. We have a lot to cover, people, and some of this stuff is just really. It's you know what? Let's start off with this. First of all, how many of you out here now, really, honestly, how many of you are at all surprised, shocked? The Dow Jones Industrial Average and the S&P 500 just closed at new all-time record highs. It's not going to stop. And yes, people, I love you all so much. And I know what you're doing. You're watching the debt market. You're watching the dollar. You're watching the MMRI, Mannarino Market Risk Indicator. I didn't print out a picture for you. We are still in a downtrend. Bond yields are rising. There is a sell-off continuing here in the debt market. The dollar is strengthening. The dollar strength right now is fear a little bit on what's unfolding around the world with regard to war and, of course, this historic, unnatural, really, storm that we have here. Doesn't matter anymore. Nothing matters anymore because the market has been assured. Again, what happened just a couple of days ago when we had a little sell-off in the stock market? They floated out Goolsby, Fed President Goolsby, to say, don't worry. He goes, rates can come down, quote, a lot, meaning he was sending a message to the market. We got you. Don't worry about it. We're going to buy it all, and that's what makes the market happy. It's greed. Mitch, thank you. Let me explain this to you another way. What we're seeing here is a destruction. It's an extinction level event. The economy is in free fall, not just here in the lovely United States, the once economic engine of the world. We no longer have that status. You all know that. Okay, we're being systematically destroyed. Okay. What's going on here, people, is, of course, the mechanism is not working for you. It's not working for me. It's not working for 98% of the people, not just here again in the United States, but around the world. But it's working very well for the 1% and 2%ers. People like Elon Musk, Trump's right-hand man right now. He's loving this, man. Loving it. And it's just not going to stop. Let me say something else. I'm going to throw two dates at you, and I want you to think about what happened on these two dates. They're pretty, most of you are going to recognize this. What happened in 1789? 1789. Any guesses of what happened in 1789? Anybody at all? Okay, I'm going to tell you. George Washington was selected as the first president of the United States. In 2009, Barack Obama was selected as the president of the United States. We have an expanse here of 220 years. Think about what I just said. George Washington to Barack Obama, 220 years. What has happened since Barack Obama became president and where we are today? Well, let's think about that. It took 220 years to build the first half of U.S. debt. It took 15 to more than double it. Now, that's an incredible, if that statistic doesn't blow your mind, 220 years to build up the first half. 15 to more than double it under Barack Obama, under the illustrious President Donald Trump, and of course, the illustrious, beautiful man of a president, Biden. Okay, that buys a lot of illusion. I continue to hear people saying, well, Greg, things were pretty good under Trump, and even under Obama, they were pretty good. But now under Biden, everything is just turning really, really bad. Let me explain this to you, man, in case you don't know. That bought a lot of illusion. It's all fake. Any of you that bought it, rah, look at the stock market. Who did this every day? What did the stock market close at? What did the stock market do? Same guy who said it was a big, fat, ugly bubble before he became president. Then it was okay. He wanted it higher and higher and higher. Why? To help the 1% and 2%ers, of course. That's what this whole system is designed to do here. Buys a lot of illusion. There was no strong economy under Obama, under Trump, and of course not under this guy here. We all were told that the stock market was going to crash by Trump when Biden was selected. We heard that. That never happened. As a matter of fact, the stock market has skyrocketed since that time. Why? More easy money. Again, think about what I just said. How many of you even knew that it took 220 years to build up the first half of the U.S. debt, your debt? Now it's just 15 years to more than double it. How many of you remember this guy explaining to you that the debt must expand exponentially to maintain this illusion? Okay? The illusion is what it is. It's an incredible thing. That's in the moment of maximum saturation. Ring a bell? We've already overtaken that. It doesn't matter how much debt they pump into the system right now. The economy is dead. The economy around the world is dead and buried. And the jobs that Camel's promising you and Trump is promising you are coming back are never coming back. Not in your lifetime. I'm going to tell you right now. Well, what's happening? The transition into a new paradigm. I've used these exact words. A whole new set of rules, a new paradigm. And that's what's happening here, people. And all the lies. And you want to talk about lies? Okay, let's talk about this. Do you know how Trump could nail Kamala to the wall right now? Hey, Trump, if you're listening to me, buddy, I'm going to give you a little tip here. Plymouth, thank you. Trump could say, are you ready? He won't say this, and there's a reason behind it. But what he could do, if he had a set of at all, which he doesn't, the man's a eunuch. You understand what I'm talking about? Okay. Trump could nail Kamala to the wall and say this. So Kamala, your boss, Biden, creature, Stein, that he is, he said that the United States economy is the envy of the world, didn't he? And she would go, yes, Donnie Trump. Yes, it is. We're the envy of the world. We're the strongest economy. All Trump would have to say is this. So Kamala, why is it then that the Federal Reserve is now resorting to what's known as emergency monetary policy, or full-blown, full-on quantitative easing, which they started back in June, right under your nose? Why is it that Trump hasn't used that as a weapon against Kamala? Wait a minute. Because he's he's promising lower rates too, just like Kamala is. They can't let you know that. Kamala can't tell you that right now the Fed is involved in full-on emergency monetary policy to pump the system with more cash. That's why the stock market just went higher in the face of our economy that's in free fall. No, Trump can't tell you that because he's the guy who created this whole thing. I promise you low rates. And then Kamala said, whoa, that's a great idea. I'm going to steal that plan. I'm going to say the same thing, both of them. Let me show you something here. This is the minutes from today. Fed's minutes show a substantial majority back to half-point cut. You mean they want to cut rates? You mean the same that Kamala's promising you to cut rates and Trump is promising you too? And Trump can't blame Kamala or ask Kamala why the Fed is involved in emergency monetary policy because he's calling for the same thing too. More debt, man. 15 years is all it took to more than double the debt that it took 220 years to build up before that. The debt must expand exponentially. We're at the point of no return. Again, the economy of the world is being systematically taken apart piece by piece, brick by brick, okay? The United States has fallen off the map we already have with regard to being the economic engine. You could bring back every single manufacturing job that exists on this planet, factory. Bring them all the factories right back here. Those jobs ain't coming back. Our factories they don't even have any orders as it stands, man. Do you see what I'm saying? They're selling you the same nonsensical garbage because they work for the Fed, selling you their plan. And that's why Trump can't call Kamala out on it. No questions during the debate either. You're not going to hear it. No. We're being destroyed, man. But Elon Musk and Bill Gates, of course, Bezos, all the richest people on this earth, they're laughing their rear ends off because they got puppets, man. They got the Fed. They got puppets here promising you destruction, a wipeout. And they're just going to, because again, we're moving back to this neo-feudal system that I've told you was coming from over 10 years ago. You're starting to see what's happening, man. We're under attack. And every solution that we've talked about, and we have presented real solutions here, they're never going to happen. Never, because it would change the trajectory of everything. Imagine if the Fed wasn't doing this right now, the same thing that Kamala is calling for, the same thing that Trump is calling for. If Kamala is on your side, those of you that support Kamala, and if Trump was on your side, those of you that support him, why is this happening? The same thing that they're both calling for, because they really care about you and our economy here. Or maybe it's Elon Musk. Yeah, that's who they care for. We could fix this whole thing, man. But we can't fix it, man, because we're being destroyed from the inside. Anyway, let's talk about, you know what? Hold that thought for a minute. So let me explain this to you, maybe in another way. I hope I don't lose power, because this is wild. I got a tree outside here that looks like it's about to fall over. Anyway, you and I have discussed for years, the faster the economy collapses, the higher the market's going to go. You see what happened today? This is going to now accelerate. Again, as the Fed is now instituting emergency monetary policy, Trump wants it, Kamala wants it, they're selling you the Fed's plan, okay? The more easy money that's pumped into the system, of course, the 1% and 2%ers, they're going to be laughing their way to the bank as you and I pay for this whole thing with our blood, our guts, and everything else they want to throw at us. That's the way it's going to go. The economy is going to suffer faster because these are economic destroyers. Nobody knows that better than you. No one wants to talk about it. Again, not a question about the economy at all, other than the blame game between the two of them. It's a joke. They can't tell you who's really running the economy. It's not run by presidents, kings, queens, monarchs, or dictators. It's run by the Fed and the other central banks. They control the monetary system. They're responsible for inflation. They're responsible for everything, the markets, everything. But you have to think that it's one of these. They got your back. We're done, man. I've seen the dumbing down. I've lived long enough, thanks, Shannon, to see the dumbing down of the populace be completed. And that's what we have now. It's unbelievable. That's why, people can be so easily manipulated. But what's going to happen now that we're seeing this, and this is going to go on and on and on, the Fed's going to keep pumping the system, obviously devaluing the currency. You can't have one without the other. We're going to see the economic collapse accelerate much faster. Not just here in the little box of the United States, which is falling off the map again with regards to everything else, as the world is shunning us, don't want our products, doesn't want our dollars anymore. Those dollars are coming back. Like I've been telling you, you have no idea what this is going to mean for your lifestyle if you live here in the United States. You think things are bad now with homelessness, with businesses closing, with factories shutting down as well, with debts and deficits hyper-ballooning. You really think you've been convinced by one of the two creatures, the red hat one and the no hat one. I don't know what to call it. You've been convinced that their plan is going to help you, the same one that the Fed wants them both to sell, and they're doing a damn good job of it. Nobody's holding them to account. Nobody at all. I wonder when that's going to happen. How about never, man? But what you can count on, what is going to happen via this mechanism here, is more lies, more propaganda, and more distortions. Let me show you that. They're already setting up the lies. Hurricane Milton might distort economic data. Economic data. It's all fake. All the numbers are fabrication. None of it is real. But they're telling you they're going to lie to you. Of course they are. Okay, you think any of this stuff is real? This is interesting. So Bill Gross, most of you now know this guy. He's warning people on the stock market. I'm telling you, the stock market's going higher. Let's see who's right. Multi-billionaire fund manager Bill Gross or Gregory Mannarino sitting here in his home office with my slick Gibson Les Paul behind me and my Wall Street Bull and my USS Constitution freaking painting over there. It's going to be me, in case you're wondering. I don't know what Billy Boy over here is looking at. I just don't. Jeffrey, thank you. Yeah, they're all fabricated, man. Look, I don't look. Whatever, man. Just ignore everyone that's telling you. Look, it was good. First of all, it was the port strike That was the Black Swan event. Lasted 3 days. This guy told you it wasn't going to do nothing. Okay. Then I don't know what the next thing is. I know there's a hell of a lot of crash callers out here. And yes, I continue to get, oh, Greg, did you hear this guy? Greg, I don't even look at it. I don't care what this guy or that guy says. You know what I care about? You. You are the only people out here that I care about. My responsibility is to you. And am I right all the time? Hell freaking no. Heck freaking no, I'm not. But I'm right most of the time, probably 90% or better, and you all know that. I don't have to sit here and tell you. But I'm telling you right now that the mechanism here is not going to stop. The faster, and this is going to accelerate, man, the cratering of the economy, the lies, the data might be fake because it's Milton's fault. Milton's a very bad man. Come on. Can't make it up. You can't make it up, man. It's absolutely incredible. So anyway, just as you and I already know, I want you to think about what I said when I started this off. 220 years to build up the first half of the U.S. debt. 15 to more than double it. I've already told you, Obama, Trump, and Biden have been, I don't know if there's another way to put this, the absolute best friends that the Federal Reserve could ever have had. Again, they don't have a printing press. None of them do. They do not have the ability to devalue the currency or even create inflation, although that's what you're being told by some people out here with a red hat on, and they're both blaming each other because they can't point their finger at the Federal Reserve because they're both calling for the same thing. They both are calling for the Fed's plan here to cut rates. They are promising you, not just calling, promising you it. So that's where it's going to go. And it took 15 years to more than double this. You think it's going to stop? Can't stop. We're going into a worst case scenario on a grand scale. You understand? On a grand scale. So you got to be ready for it, people. There's just no way out of it. And understand what this means. Why is it, honestly, that no one even knows, besides you, that we are in full-blown QE, emergency monetary policy right now? How many people actually know that? Well, you wouldn't know that out of Kamala's mouth. You wouldn't know that out of Trump's mouth. You wouldn't know that out of even the mainstream media's mouth. They eliminate the word quantitative. People don't even know what that word means. Kind of like, here's a nice word for you. You ready? Serum glutamic oxaloacidic transaminase. That's one word. Those doctors and nurses out here, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, there's a lot of fancy words out here with regard to body parts and enzymes and whatever it might be. Kind of cool stuff if you think about it. Anyway, anything that you guys and girls want to talk about before we get out of here? Besides disparaging women here, you want to call people names, that's fine, Cindy. I'm all for it. But disparaging women, your mother, and probably you too, Cindy, have stuffed a tampon or two in your life. So why you guys want to disparage women? Women are not responsible for this disgusting mess that we have. For anything, it's men. Okay? Men up until now, we haven't had one single president, even though they have no power. So you want to disparage freaking women? Go ahead, man. Without women, we wouldn't even exist, man. I don't think it's right to attack people like that. You want to call Tim another name? Go ahead. I'm all for it. But again, if you got to drag your own mother into this, or yourself, if you have to be female, well, then I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, look, man, we're kind of there. Is there anything you guys and girls want to talk about before we get out of here? Seriously, yes. Economy, man. This whole thing is a con job, man. A con job. Butt plugged him. There you go. You see, I could live with that one because that's not really disparaging women, man. I think it's just a bad thing to do. It's only going to come back bad at you, man. Just don't do that kind of stuff. There's a lot of women here. A lot of lionesses here, man. Let me tell you. And there's no way that these women should be put into a bad light because of whatever. You know what I'm trying to say? So let's just lay off of that. All right. Anyway, the SEC, don't even get me started about the SEC. They come after guys like me, not once but twice. But if you're Elon Musk or any of these guys, maybe they may come after you. You're gonna get away with everything. You know, imagine they come after a guy like me. I tell you, man. Is it the boomer's fault? Dude, is it your fault then? Are you a boomer? I mean, I don't know. This whole thing, well, we allowed this to happen and we continue to allow it to happen. How do we do that? Because we don't call anybody out. Nobody. Again, nobody is held responsible for anything anymore. We are responsible for everything that is happening because we've lost our ability to come together. We've been divided and conquered. We are a conquered people, in case you don't know. We have been controlled. You're all so worried about free speech and everything else. How about the fact that you're a controlled person? Every single one of us here has been controlled. We cannot come together on a single issue. You and me can, part of this family that we've created around the world. But this mechanism is old as time itself. Keep people divided, keep them separated. They cannot come together. Therefore, they cannot elicit change. And they're laughing at us. That's whose fault it is. It's your fault. It's my fault. No, you can't. People don't want to blame. Look in the mirror. You want to look for fault? Look in the mirror. That makes sense to anybody here? It's too much. I tell you, it's freaking crazy. Absolutely incredible. Look, man, everyone looks out for their own best interest, unfortunately, except for you and me. See, this community that we built, we got each other's backs, all right? Greed is a terrible thing. Greed is not good. I know Gordon Gekko said it was good, right, Mitch? Thank you. It's not good, but it is legal now. And it's just kind of out of control, man. It really, really is. Anyway, you know how I feel about crypto, man. And the fact that it's kind of interesting. Let's lay this out right now. So we know that Visa is creating this tokenized asset platform, and they're starting off with cryptocurrency to streamline it. All right. This is obviously another step towards the digital system, the tokenized system. That's why Trump is promising to make the United States the crypto capital of the world, not the constitutional money capital of the world. And then he's got Elon Musk at his side. Elon Musk, the guy who this is what bothers me. If Trump would say the truth here, for example, okay, he wants Elon Musk, the Satanist, part of his cabinet here, his advisors, and he's going to put Elon Musk in a position to stop government waste. The fact of the matter is, he's really there as an AI expert to help bring about the tokenized system. Right, Selmo and Marcel? That's what this is. If Trump would just say what's the truth, I would respect the man. I don't have one cell in my body that respects the guy because he works for the Fed. So does Kamala. No respect for her either. Neither one of these things are even human in my book because neither one of them can tell you the truth. Again, if they're breathing, if Kamala is breathing, if Trump is breathing, it's a lie. They cannot tell you the truth. They will not tell you the truth. Henceforth, why? Like I said, Trump could nail Kamala to the wall today if he just said, hey, Kamala, yeah, economy's real strong. Huh? That's what your boss says. Well, why are we having emergency monetary policy right now? He can't say that because then people will go, well, wait a minute, sir. You're also promising us lower rates. In fact, you were first. And then Kamala adopted that because she thought that was a great idea. Can't do it. We're being lied to like we've never been lied to ever before in the history of this world. It's the truth. It's so sick. Anyway, what else can I tell you, man? That's kind of where we're at. Is there anything you guys and girls want to talk about before we get out of here? Before we kind of end this whole thing? I think we're pretty much up to speed, and I'm almost a little bit afraid that I'm going to lose power because I can tell you right now that this is bad. I love XRP. Jesus coin. You know, man, I've been hearing about this Jesus coin. I don't like anything that kind of exploits what some feel is holy and maybe the name of the Son of God. I don't know what your perspective is on religion here. You all know mine, okay? So it's not something I'd want to get involved in just because of that. I won't profit by directly getting involved in buying, and which we all could have, I'm sure. And I'm not telling anyone what to do or what not to do. You want the defense stocks, defense companies here. What I'm doing here is betting against the system. Okay, I'm using the system again as a weapon. You know what I'm doing here. I want that nice dividend from JEPI. JEPQ. But what we're really doing is understanding that this, again, 220 years to build up the first half of the debt, 15 years, the last three presidents have done all they can and then some to help the Federal Reserve. It's unbelievable. 15 years to more than double the debt. And that is brought of a lot of illusion, but that is about to change. They're going to lie to you. They're going to tell you how great our economy is, how strong we are. But we all know it's a lie and it's a fabrication. What we're seeing here is exactly what you and I said would happen. Hyper ballooning debts and deficits. And the more that this goes on, the worse things are going to be here. Because of the two economic destroyers. Again, no one's being called out on this. Let me ask you, why is that? Why is no one saying, okay, lower rates are an economic destroyer? We know this to be a fact, which means a weaker currency, an economic destroyer as well. Why is nobody calling them out on this? Again, Kamala's not calling Trump out. Trump's not calling him out because they're both calling for the same thing. They're selling you the Fed's plan. But you must be, again, told to look here. Don't look over there. Anyway, man, I think we're kind of done, people. I think we really are. I love you guys and girls so much. Thank you so much for being here with me, for your love, for your support. Please share this video. And we really got to work on these thumbs up, man. Come on. It's a nanosecond to hit that thumbs up. Again, it helps the algorithms obey. Exactly. Operation Warp Speed. You know what this is all about, people. They want, I can't say this another way to you. Don't take my word for what I'm about to tell you. I want you to do your own research on this. And we are going to run into, again, what this is going to come down to eventually is a locking up of the system. We are in a full-blown liquidity crisis. That's why the debt has more than doubled in 15 years, 220 years. 15, we more than doubled it. That should prove to you what I've been telling you for 10 years, longer than 10 years, that we are in a full-on liquidity crisis. That was the real issue in 2008. It wasn't the stock market crash. The credit markets were locking up. That means that the system does not function anymore. That means that the ability to pull cash into the now from the future ends. Transactions stop. Their system, the one that they have now, which is being systematically deconstructed, dies. Understand? That's going to lead to a global, listen to what I'm saying, man, a global resource problem. There's going to be, and this is no accident, absolute pandemonium in the streets around this world. That's why I've been telling you, we all need each other, man. We're going to need to rely on each other because there's no way out of a worst case scenario. That's where we're going. This global resource problem of not the ability to obtain resources. Maybe I should rephrase that. Half this population of this earth is going to disappear. Okay? Die. Many mechanisms are already being thrown at us, okay, to make sure that we are controlled, which we already are. They got the red hats over here. They got the no hats over here. They're already controlled. All right. You and I who fall in the middle here. All right. We're not controlled. I understand that. But the vast majority of this population is controlled and they think they're free. The illusion of freedom, they've swallowed it whole. They're not free to do anything. They're free to listen to their earthly gods, their demigods. Okay. And they're free to be destroyed. Paul Ryan, thank you. By a system that both of these puppets are selling to you, which is leading to our own destruction. Does this about sound right to you? Yeah, I think it does. I really do. All right, guys and girls, man, we're going to get out of here. We're going to continue to do what we're doing. Again, we can offer every solution in the book, and it's too simple to fix this. It really, really is. Won't happen. It won't happen. Chris, thank you so much, man. Thank all of you people. I love all of you so much. Look, man, this is the situation. This is about to get a lot worse here by me. And they're expecting widespread power outages. Whether or not this happens, I don't know. If I lose my power here, I will not be here in the morning. What I am intending to do tomorrow, okay, I'm hoping to get a video out. I am intending to go out here and help my neighbors clean up the disaster that we're supposed to get here. All right. About half of my neighbors split already. They're gone. I am not under a mandatory evacuation order, even though I am directly in the path of this thing. Okay. But I intend to get out here and do what I always say. I'm gonna do for people. That's what I'm all about here, honestly, doing for people. It's my mission here, man. Nothing's going to stop me from fulfilling that. It's the reason why I really feel like I'm alive on this planet Earth here. This is the only time I feel good, is when I'm out here trying to educate people, bring them up to speed as to what's going on, when I'm doing something for somebody. That is really what I'm all about, man. And I really hope that's you too. I really, really do. All right, people. So I hope to see you in the morning. I really do. Don't worry if you don't see me. I'm okay. All right. I am. I'm fine. If you don't see me, that just means the power's out. But I'm hoping to be here. All right. So with that said, people, look, man. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other as always. And if I don't see you tomorrow, I'll see you the moment that I get this thing up. All right. So with that said, please think about the things that we've talked about and what it means for you, what it means for this community that we've built, this worldwide community that we've built here. We've built something huge, honestly. These are people around the world who think like you do. Do you know how much strength that gives you? You have friends everywhere. You have friends everywhere. It's the truth. Take advantage of this stuff here. And then again, I'm going to say this one more time before I get going. And I know that 99% of you believe as I do that there is an almighty Father, an almighty God here. Pray, because I am telling you right now, people are going to die here. Many, many people are going to die here in Florida because of this thing. Okay. So, let's all do that. All right. I'll see you soon. All right. That's it. I'm out of here.